And
And
we're
we're
back.
we're back.
And we're back.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And we're back. Welcome back, Andrew.
Welcome back, Johnny. Back in studio. Crystal
Oh my
clear.
gosh. Do you hear the crisp, nice, elegant sounds of a studio mic?
Still via Zoom, but you know, as good
Still
as
via
we
Zoom.
get.
We're still next to our laundry machines in the basements, but
Yeah, my dryer's actually going, but thank you to this beautiful Shure microphone. You can't even hear it. You can only hear the
that's right.
smooth baritone of Andrew Sleighter.
Yes, that's right. Same with my perception microphone. Yes.
Yeah. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
You look good. I'm doing great. Let me ask you a question. This is a good. I'm just gonna jump right into something before I forget.
Get into it.
Would you rather? We haven't done a would you rather in a long time, but this is like a
Oh,
very
I know.
practical would you rather. Would you
Okay.
rather be in a
And then I have
fight?
one for you after mine. I have one
Okay.
for you
Oh, you
after this.
do. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Would you rather be in a fight with your wife, like a pretty big fight, which is always
Okay.
like a
Like
miserable.
physical.
I mean, no, no, not physical, not physical, just
Okay.
emotional, which is always like a
Sure.
miserable experience. I think we can both agree. Like,
Oh
there's
yeah.
nothing fun about. I wonder if there's some people out there who like it, but I hate it. I think most people hate
I
being it.
think there's people that they don't think they like it, but subconsciously they
They
crave it.
need it.
They like the
Like they
drama.
require
Yeah.
it. Like I do not require it.
Hmm.
Okay. Would you rather be in a fight with your wife or be the third person in a room with a different couple that are in a horrible fight
Oh,
and they're
for
fighting
sure.
in front of you?
The latter, for sure. Totally,
You would
totally be
rather
the third person.
you would rather be the third person, but it's so
Yes.
uncomfortable.
Oh, I know it's uncomfortable, but it's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah,
That's on them.
you
If
might
they're
be
not
right.
embarrassed,
You might be right, but it's
then
just I'm not going to use any names, but I was in a situation recently and I was like, I wanted to crawl out of my skin. And the thing is when you're in a
oh
fight with your own person, you
yeah.
know you're fine. Like like this is totally like we have to go through this. It's gonna be like a
Yeah.
thing for a few hours or a day or whatever it takes for the fight to last. But you're like, I know how this works. This seems bad to the outsider, the things we're saying, and it seems dramatic,
Yeah.
but I know how this.
But
But
then
when
I'm
you're
gonna
not
lose.
but when you're not familiar with the relationship and you don't know the people that well, especially, it's like you're like, oh god, am I seeing the end? Is this it? Is
Oh
this
yeah.
how it goes down? It's very
Oh
uncomfortable.
man.
I think
Do
I'd
we get
rather be
more
in my own fight.
details? Do we get
In
more
the
details
post
in
show
the
banner,
post show
banner. Yeah.
banner?
Because this person actually told me he was going to listen to the podcast. So I was like, well, I better not expose too much. I don't think he would care. They're fine. They're a great couple. But it was just like I was in.
They sound like it. They sound like
They are. Hey, all couples fight at some point. Real couples.
oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
post
Me
show
and here we've
banner.
had so I've had some walkouts in the middle of grocery stores with my wife.
Oh, really? There's
Yeah,
a story.
I
I
hate
hate fighting.
fighting.
It's the most. And when I'm even like gotten better at it, recognizing in the moment like this is so stupid. Like I would
Yeah.
give anything to go back in time and just cave on whatever thing that I was holding on to that started this, or the joke that I thought it was being funny or whatever it is. But
Yeah.
then you're dug in and then you just keep, and it's just so dumb. You're just prolonging the
Yeah.
agony. And you just want to fast forward to the time where it doesn't matter anymore. But
Yeah.
I'm still,
That's the worst when you're like, you just know you're like, this is so dumb. I know this is dumb, but she doesn't know it's dumb. And
right,
so we're still fighting.
right,
You have to understand it's dumb.
right.
I can't walk away. I'm
Like,
not.
I'm over this, but I can't say that I'm over this until you're over this.
Right.
You don't know how
Right.
emotionally
Right.
involved I am. So I can't
Yeah.
show you how much I don't care about this till I know that you don't care about this.
Yeah.
There
Exactly.
My parents always tell this story where they got, and this is like, you know how many fights GPS has saved? Like
Oh
GPS,
yeah,
because
sure.
so that was like growing up, my memory of all the time the adults were fighting, it was because of directions or we were lost. That was like almost every fight. And so we were driving and like so we were in Southern California on like a vacation. And I have really no memory of this, but the story is legendary. Like they were trying to go around Beverly Hills, like they are to see the shops. What do you the that street where all the like in Pretty Woman? We live there.
Oh, Beverly Hills Street.
Bev- is that really what it
I
is?
don't know. I have no idea.
Beverly. So Beverly Hills Boulevard, the famous street. Anyway, they wanted to see that, you know what I'm talking about, where all the
Yeah,
richest
yeah.
cars are.
I know what you're talking about.
So they were lost. And I apparently the fight was so bad, my mom they were just screaming at each other and she was like, "Well, just let me out right here. I'm gonna get out." And my dad just let her out and drove off. And in Southern California, and there's no cell phones, there's
Yeah.
no like Google Maps. You can't like drop a pin
Yeah.
for the
That's
location.
not even a story today, but back then it's like,
No,
holy
now you're
shit, how
just
did
like,
they
of course, yeah,
reconnect?
it's probably a good idea. Go blow off some steam. But now you're like, dude, you might never see her again. Like, if I drop my wife off in a strange city with no Google Maps and no cell phones, I'd be like, that might be it. I don't know how we'll ever get in touch.
Yeah.
But
Oh
then
yeah.
apparently the kids, my dad was like, I would have kept driving, but the kids, you were all screaming, God, get mommy back, So
I
he circled around and
like it how he tells the story that way.
yeah,
I would have left her.
I would have
There'd
left
be a
her.
different way today.
You wouldn't even know
You
your
damn
mother.
kids.
You'd have a whole different mom, but you screaming kids saved her.
You cried. You know what's funny is I don't remember my parents like fighting over directions and stuff, but I do know that it was such a miserable experience that my mom later on as I got older when we would go on vacation, she would just fly and meet us there and the rest of us would drive.
Oh my God, your mom is the
Mm.
best. What a genius idea. Oh,
Uh,
just avoid it. Oh, I mean, that is revolutionary. Just be like, you pack up the car, you deal with the kids,
yep.
you pack the snacks and do the rest stops and all that bullshit. I'm just gonna
Yep.
fly.
Here's my arrival time. Pick me up at the airport.
What a boss ass move. God,
Yeah.
could you imagine proposing that to your wife? Like, hey, honey, I got an idea. You know how I get cranky on the drive and those kids screaming and yelling. I think, what if I just fly? We'll buy the plane ticket for me, and you guys,
Yeah.
I'll cover
And
your
you,
gas.
yeah. Yeah. I'll just get out of your guys' hair. I just want to
Yeah,
get out of your guys'
I
hair.
get in the way. You know how I get all cranky, and you don't want me around for that.
Yeah. I just muck it up.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be something.
that'd be something. That would
Although,
be.
however, if it was the other way around, if Aaron proposed that, I'd be like, that's what you want. All right, fine.
Yeah, I guess I probably would. I mean, see, it's different for us. We have one. As long as she took our dog, I would be fine with it. It's like
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with the dog and Ginger. But
Yeah.
I guess I would be okay with it, but she would not.
Well, it'd be so
It's
much
the
easier for
idea is
you because
laughable.
Ginger's younger and you have one.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a totally different three. I can't believe you would be okay with it. With
Yeah,
three
well,
kids.
and this is coming off the heels of so this weekend Aaron was gone. Aaron left Thursday night and got back at like midnight Monday night. Her friend was having a birthday party, like her California friends had a girls' weekend reunion in Palm Springs, and So it was me and the kids all weekend, and it was
Yeah,
fine. It was
it's
totally
fine.
fine. Yeah.
Uh, we had to start late tonight because I just got back from this cruise, but then of course immediately Heidi's like, I want a night out, so she's out tonight. So I had to do bedtime,
Yeah.
but then you know what she's doing? So this wasn't her idea, but her friend was like, I want to go see. She's a fan of Rosebud Baker. Do you know who that is?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Comedian.
comedian. Yeah.
And she's married to Andy Haynes, who I know from the old days in Seattle. He was in
Oh,
Seattle when
okay.
I started, and it was like, and it just like it really set me back. I was like, wait, you're gonna buy a ticket to go see a comedian? It's just like it felt so like, what are we doing? We're spending money on comedy. It just seems like so backwards. I was
Yeah.
like, should I
Where?
text?
What club is it?
It's not even a club. It's a room I actually hadn't heard of here in Portland, like Paragon or just
Huh.
some probably
Some
indie
indie room.
some indie theater room in North Portland, I guess. But most
Wow.
of them I've heard of people doing comedy at before, but I haven't even heard of this one. So I'll be curious to hear how it goes. But it's just like that thing. I was like, what? We're spending money on other comedians? Like, I can't get enough money. Like, we're trying,
Yeah.
like all the time and effort I could get to get people to buy tickets to my show. I was like, now we're putting money out to other shows. That just seems counterintuitive. I guess it's good.
Yeah.
It's good to support the arts,
Your fellow
my
comedian.
fellow
Uh,
comedians. It'd be fun. I guess Andy's gonna
yeah.
open. They have a baby, and then so I'm assuming they all just travel the road together. They just pack up the baby, and she watches the baby while he's on stage, and then he gets off and watches the baby
Yeah.
or they have like an expensive nanny. Who knows? But
When's the last time that you guys she's come to your show and seen your
well, that's
show?
what I said, and she got so mad. So we were at lunch, and I guess like when she first told me she was gonna go see Rosebud, I just had that reaction. I was just like, "Huh, you're gonna go to a comedy show? Like, what a stupid
You're
idea."
gonna cheat on me with Rosebud Baker?
I mean, not that I care about her seeing my show, but just like
Yeah.
it's so bad because I'm all about trying to tell people to go to stand up. Like, you're gonna spend $25 to go see some comedian? Like, let's go to a movie or something. But it's only because we're just around it. We're just not used to. And she was a comic, so neither of us are used to paying to see stand up.
Yeah, but it's like paying for a hotel. It's like, oh God, I always get this for free. What the heck? Why would we pay for a
Yeah,
hotel?
yeah, I
Right?
suppose.
Is that kind of why it feels weird to like pay to see a
it
comic?
it feels worse than because to a hotel, I'm like, I don't know. I can still get
It's
excited
worse.
about. It's like worse to me because I've paid for a hotel many times, even as a working
Yeah.
comedian. Like, we've gone on lots of trips. I have not paid to
Yeah.
see a stand up in 20 years, probably.
Yeah.
When was the last time you paid to see stand up?
I've probably seen a big show. Like I saw, like Dave Chappelle was at Summerfest. I saw that. I saw
Okay.
a show at Largo that I think I paid when we were
Oh
living
yeah, I
out
bought
there
a
for our
ticket
anniversary.
to see Neil Brennan at Largo one time. So I take it back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've done it a couple times. I've done it a couple times. But anyway, I must have been
And
taken back.
never a run of the mill club
No,
comic.
she's
Ew.
great. I'm sure she's great. I'm sure she's hilarious. I haven't seen her before, but I'm sure she's hilarious. I think she like is a writer for Saturday Night Live. But so anyway, that lunch, I literally said that today. I was like, I just gotten back, and she was bringing up the fact like, oh yeah, you seemed annoyed that I'm gonna go see, and I was like, I don't care. But then I was like, I wonder if you've seen more this year, Rosebud Baker or me. But then she immediately got mad, which is a good point because she's like, I'm home watching your kid. When would I ever see you? Like,
Yeah.
if you're out, I'm home. Like, that's the way this
Yeah.
works. It's not like, you know. So that was the wrong
Uh, Relationships.
relationships. They're great.
Now you you would never take Ginger to this because she's the age she is, but I took the kids to the movie If. Have you heard of it?
That's funny you said that. I have heard of it because my wife just took Ginger to Garfield, and they were debating between If or Garfield. So I
Oh,
think
that's what I was debating
yeah, she almost
between.
did go see If, but they saw Garfield instead. But go ahead.
Well, we should have seen Garfield
Was If bad?
because it was. This is just my opinion, but it's bad. Yeah, I mean it's marketed well, but it's so slow. It's so slow. It's so boring, especially for kids. I mean, I got a
Yeah.
5, 9, and 11-year-old. Edie's the only one that watched the whole thing. Duncan, I spent, probably 40% of the movie out in the hallway chasing Duncan and Phoebe up and down the halls because they were just
They just
so
couldn't.
bored
Yeah.
playing tag in the theater. Like they were just like, couldn't pay attention because it was so boring.
Yeah. Garfield is more of like a straight up cartoon, probably. I'm guessing. I don't know, but uh
Yeah.
I so what was it? It's about imaginary friends, right? If imaginary friends. That's all I know about it.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
just
that's all
bad.
you need to know. It's fucking dumb.
I mean, if you were bored, it is funny. Like as an adult, even if you're like, this is boring, that's probably a bad sign for a kids movie.
Well, I was born. I mean, you don't even know what's going on. Like these characters start showing up. I mean, I had watched the trailer before I watched the movie, so I kind of knew what was going on. But like, if not, I'd be like, who the hell is this? What is going on?
Is it
Why?
is it
It just
mixed?
takes so long to get to like what's happening, and you can't do that for kids.
Is it mixed live action and animation, or is it like a full on animation?
No, yeah, it's like Pixar meets real life.
See, what is that about? So why is it that kids can watch like animation, like a cartoon,
Yeah.
easier than they can just watch real people? Like if you took the same movie, right? Like you took uh Paw
What
Patrol
if?
or
Yeah.
If, but you just animated the whole thing and made it all cartoon characters. You don't think it'd be any better?
Wouldn't be better.
But I'm saying, okay,
No,
but if you
because
took like
it's
Toy
just the
Story,
stories.
if you took Toy Story and you made like the human beings, people, like real, like me and you,
Yeah.
and then you made the toys like more realistic in the human, it wouldn't be as like a kid friendly movie. Like,
I
why
think
is
they're
that?
probably going to do that. They're going to do that in like 2027. It's going
Yeah,
to
of
be,
course. Well, it's like every like okay, they've done it. They've done it with all. They did it with
yeah,
Ariel, and they did
Beauty and
it
the
with
Beast. Yep.
Lion King.
Aladdin.
But then
Yep.
kids don't like those as much, you know. So why
It's a
don't
money
kids?
grab for the,
No,
because
I'm
you and I
saying
grew up watching it. And so they
I
know we'll go see the real life one.
I know why they would do it because we'll pay
Oh,
for
but
the
why
thing. I'm
doesn't it
saying
work? Is what you're saying?
why are kids naturally more attracted to animation than live action? What is that about it? Like it makes doesn't make sense to me why they would be more into drawings of people than real people.
I mean, this is my guess. It's because it's like, oh, this is a like a fantasy world that I've never seen. Whereas the other thing is like, oh, I could look out my window and see a guy that looks like
Ah, okay.
the guy in the movie. It's like, oh,
That's a
I've
good
never
guess.
seen this.
All right.
It's the closest to being on drugs kids can do. That's my answer.
It's like an acid trip for kids.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I'll buy it.
it's safe.
Good enough for me,
Yeah.
pal.
How
Yeah,
did you celebrate your Memorial weekend?
by twiddling my thumbs on a cruise ship full of old people in Alaska.
Oh yeah.
I didn't give a. I didn't do too. It meant nothing to me. I mean, other than
It
remembering
got
the sacrifices of our
of our
wonderful
fallen.
troops and military, our fallen, our fall. Yeah.
Well, and the living, I guess.
Now
And the ones that didn't fall.
the living's the other one.
Well, Labor Day?
No,
No, that's like the
Veterans Day.
workforces. Oh, Veterans Day. Oh, that's the
Or
living one. Okay, so
yeah,
this Memorial Day is for the fallen.
I think Memorial Day is for the fallen. If you see an
Okay.
active duty soldier on Memorial Day, you don't say shit to that guy. You say, keep it moving, pal. This is not your day.
Yeah, you just look at his boarding pass. You say, "You're behind me,
Yeah.
pal. I'm in
Try
Group
zone
A."
7, asshole. Unless you're in a
Oh,
coffin, you're not getting on this plane before me. I'll tell you that much.
oh, geez. Oh, by the way, I think I've already I complained about this when the change happened, but I'm getting on a flight Friday to go to Denver, and I'm flying back Sunday. I wanted to get back home. Flight's supposed to be 11 o'clock, and then I land at 3. They Frontier changed it. So now I'm at the I don't fly out till 5:30 and I get home at 8:30. God damn it. They could be cheap and they could suck, but why? What is it about being a shitty airline that makes you push your flight fucking 6 hours later in the day? You know?
I have nothing to
You
say
don't
to you.
care. You don't care.
I mean, it's just like watching someone hit themselves in the balls with a hammer over and over again and going, God, what the fuck? It hurts so bad. Why does this hammer hurt when I hit my balls? It's like, what do you want me to say at this point? I don't they only are in business because morons like you and the rest of this country continue to hit themselves in the hammer with a hammer in the balls.
But I saved like $60.
Which you'll spend in the airport buying beers because you're 6 hours early for your flight with nothing to do.
No, you know what sucks is that I'll be in Boulder, no access to a printer, and I won't be able to print my boarding pass because I'll be in Colorado when my check-in time hits, and they're going to be like, "Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't do online. You got to pay thirty
No,
dollars to use the online boarding
you're gonna have
pass."
to find a library, my friend.
You
Fuck
know what I'll do is
Sunday.
I'll just I'll pull up the QR code on my phone, and then I'll just like I'll look at it and draw it on a piece of notebook paper and see if that works.
It's just the energy
Wonder if
and
that's
time.
ever.
The energy and time you go into fighting Frontier Airlines for the money that you're saving on each flight. It's just hilarious. And to what end?
Yeah,
Like at least like, and I know it's all fake and like credit card points and airline status. It's all a mirage to make you think you're getting ahead in life and fine. But at least
yeah.
it's some sort of dignity. Like I flew first class
There's no
today
dignity.
from
You what?
Vancouver to Portland. Yeah, I get bumped up all the time on Alaska.
Oh my
So,
god.
and it's like it's not
So
that
to
big of a
ask, or
deal.
they just like, oh, Andrew has a lot of points. We'll bump him up.
Yeah, you don't even ask. They just bump you up. But it's not even like it's only for shorter flights usually. Like that's an what's that, an hour and a half flight. So it's like not that big of a deal,
Yeah.
but it's like there's just that just enough to keep you like, yeah, okay, I'll pay the
Yeah.
extra every once in a while. Prefer one airline over the other. It's just so much smarter. I don't know what to do. Like, who's the big
I
carrier
have
out of Milwaukee? I can't even remember. Like, is it Delta
Milwaukee,
mostly?
Southwest. I love
Southwest?
Southwest,
Yeah. Well, you
but
should at
I'm
least.
Madison. So
Well, I know you're
Madison is,
Madison, but
Delta United.
Delta. So you should just be a Delta guy. Is what you should do.
Yeah, but we have Delta United, and then it's American. That's still a airline, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I if I
Those
were
three all
you,
they all suck. I hate them all, but they're all.
I would
I mean,
be.
they're
I think
better than
of
Frontier.
those three, I would be a Delta guy.
What kind of guy are you? Are you?
I'm an Alaska guy, but then
Oh, that's where all your points are.
yeah, but
Well, that's
Alaska.
because where you live. That's
Yeah,
great. I
I'm a
mean, my brother lives.
Northwest. Yeah, but
Yeah.
if I were in like Chicago, I would probably be like a United guy, I suppose. Or if I were in Atlanta, I'd be a Delta guy. Like you would pick based on where the hubs are.
Yeah.
American as partners with Alaska, so I can do like it's interchangeable. I can do American too, but I prefer Alaska,
Okay.
when possible.
Yeah.
But it's just this frontier thing. I mean, it's laughable that you still have to print out a boarding pass is so disrespectful They like honestly, they should be brought. That should be brought up in court. Like someone should be
No.
trying them in court over that. Like the small claims that is so scandalous. Like so many, nobody has a printer anymore. We just had so Heidi's gonna try. She's gonna try to go to Canada with me because I got this gig in Victoria on Saturday, and but her passport lapsed. So we're gonna go to the passport office and try and get like a
Oh.
same day. You can do like an urgent travel thing. So we're gonna try. So she needed to fill out these forms, but they have to be printed out, you know? And we
Yeah.
don't have it. So she told the neighbor, and I was like, oh no, you told the neighbor we don't have a printer? And the neighbor just brought over like a stack of papers. But now that I know the neighbor has a printer, game over. Because I usually go to the library. You can get them for free at the
Oh,
library.
so you see, we've had this conversation, and you've never had a reason that you need to have a printer. Well,
No.
here is one.
No, but why?
No,
I don't. Why?
no, my
No.
neighbor has one.
My neighbor has one. I'm even more out. And once I first of all, the library does it for free. I used to be in
Well,
LA, I'd have to
but
pay
that's
like
still, you need
quarter.
that. Okay. You can't say I don't need one because I can do it at the library. You still need a printer if you're going to the library to print shit.
Well, one,
Like what have
I
you
don't
had to go to
fly
the library?
Frontier Airlines, so I very rarely need a printer. They allow me to use my smartphone in 2024 to show my boarding
No.
pass.
Oh,
I mean, can
ah,
they can't even like if an airline was like, "Look, we charge baggage fees because fuel is expensive and you guys pack too much shit and it's causing delays and it's causing so we need to charge some money to get you guys to be more economical about what you pack and also to make up for like you can at least wrap your head around it's like an annoying fee, but you can wrap your head around
yeah,
it, right? You
yeah,
cannot make a defense for printing your own boarding pass at home. You just
right.
can't do
I
it.
agree. I totally
In the
agree.
in the age of
Hey, I'm not
smartphones,
I'm not here to defend Frontier, just
no,
so
I know.
we're
It's
clear.
just I remember that one and it just drives me crazy. And Spirit does the same thing. They're in cahoots, those two.
That has that always been the case? Because I have never flown Spirit
Yeah,
ever.
Spirit was the same
Because
way.
I,
Because I flew
but
Spirit once. I did it when I was in LA. I remember they had a $90 flight from LA direct to Baltimore, and I had a college like right outside Baltimore, and it was just too good of a deal to pass up. And it was either like $90 and the next cheapest flight was like 550, so just like,
yeah,
okay, I'm going to do it. And I'm only going to be there for 24 hours. So I literally didn't pack a bag, the whole thing.
yeah,
And I researched it
yeah.
and I knew, and I printed out the boarding pass at the library
Did
and,
everything work out?
and everything worked out. It was a shitty red eye flight, but
Yeah,
it was direct, so it wasn't that risky. And
yeah.
then, but just, I wouldn't,
Nice.
but now I wouldn't do it just out of principle. Like, I just want those places to go out of business,
I know.
you know?
I told my wife before I came down here. I told because I was bitching about it a little bit ago. I told her I'm never flying Frontier again.
Yeah, I've heard that before. That's what everyone says.
From who?
You, you've literally told me that. We've
I
had this
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to
conversation.
filter it out. When I go on Expedia and look for these flights, I'm going to say no Frontier.
Like, that should be their motto. Is like, people say they'll never fly us again, but they always come back. We dare you to never fly us again. We'll make it so cheap, you idiots.
You fucking,
You
you
fucking
fucking
idiots.
stupid assholes.
Stupid
You'll come
bitches.
crawling back.
You'll come crawling back. We'll make a
Yeah.
fare so stupid low, we'll spit in your face. You'll fly us again.
Yeah. We're going to make you print out. We're going to make you get your boarding pass notarized, you
Yeah.
fucking idiots.
I mean, that's basically like, they're not that far off.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Enough of that bullshit. Let's get
Yeah.
to topics, my friend. What
All right. Let's do it.
do you need backup on? Or do you want me to go first?
All right. I'm going to go first because I think mine's pretty worldly. I think that houses, including apartments, should have it should be standard to have a guest shitter, like like when you have guests come over, they have their own place to shit that is far away from everything and that you never use. Like not a bathroom that we use when they're not here, but like just one that's strictly for guests. And I'll even say bring back outhouses. I mean, not like no plumbing and a hole in the ground, but I'm saying like put it
That's how far
outside.
away
If I'm at someone's house,
you
if
want the
I'm at
guests.
someone's house and they have like a grandma suite out in the backyard with that's just a bathroom, I'll fucking walk through the grass.
I love it. I love it. You'd prefer it.
Right?
I'd prefer it
Yes. You're more
because
comfortable. They're more comfortable.
you can do whatever damage you're going to do in there. You don't have to feel bad, Yeah, there's nothing worse than having to like, most people now have like, I don't know, our age, the average person our age, if you're going to like a party at their house, they probably have 2 bathrooms. But like for the majority of my life, everywhere I went had 1 bathroom. And sometimes you would go at a party and you would have to like walk through their bedroom to go to the like in those certain apartments, and that's always very awkward. And then you have to look at their like toothbrush, and their whole setup there, and you're taking a dump, and it's like, oh, this isn't fair. It's not fair to them. Not
I
fair
am
to me.
violating my friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not even just walking through their bedroom, but also like, you go to, if I'll go to like a, party now, like friends, you got the main floor layout, and then the bathroom is like inside the middle chunk pillar of that floor. It's like, oh, I'm just right there.
Right.
I'm in the middle of the party. I just am surrounded by walls, but I'm in the middle of the party shitting.
Yeah. I'm basically in the middle of a dance circle right now, taking a dump.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll back you up 100%. I love the idea of an outhouse, like a modern day outhouse.
Yes.
Like, how they have ADUs, people build these ADUs.
No.
They're just like little apartment home things. If you have a big backyard, or you guys could do it. You could build like literally a rental cottage. They call them ADUs.
Oh, we would love to do that for my mother-in-law. I think it's like
a little mother-in-law apartment, like a bedroom, a bathroom, a little living space, a small, but it's a self-contained exterior, dwelling.
Yes. Yeah.
But that, even if you just started with the bathroom, you could just build the bathroom and then plan on building the rest of it, but just start with the bathroom. Just like a little outhouse, I love that. We need that because we only have 1 bathroom in our house. And we've had parties over here. It's horrible.
Yeah. They come out and then it's like, oh, fucking. You feel like you got to leave the party after you shit, all of a sudden the party smells bad for a few minutes.
Most people probably aren't like us, where they don't take dumps at party. Like they probably can count on one hand how many times they've taken a dump at someone else's party. But like, I don't know what it is about me. I'm like you, like maybe it's nerves. I take a shit before almost every show, and I'm not nervous anymore. I swear to God, I'm not nervous. It's not because like my stomach's churning, but it's like it's
Pavlovian. You're used to it. Your body.
Because I used to be nervous probably before shows, and so we had a split show in the theater. So there's these 2 singers and me on the cruise ship, and we're both in the backstage area, and there's 1 bathroom, and they know what's going on. I mean, if you're in there for more than 30 seconds, everybody knows, it's horrifying. And they're singers, so they don't do that disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, I love it. Outhouse.
Did I ever I have a bit about it, but did I ever tell you, or did you ever hear a bit about when I was at a party, like Aaron's friend had a party, and there's no lock on the door, and so she was like, "I have to go to the bathroom. You got to guard the door," and so I did, and then I was like, "All right, I gotta go," and I had to take a dump. So I was just trying to take a super quick dump, and a fucking guy walked in when I'm fucking wiping my ass. I have never been more mad at my wife in my fucking life. And then she's like laughing as I'm like, we are leaving now. She just thought it was funny. I've never been more mad in my
Wait,
fucking
what
life.
was her excuse for not
Because
guarding
it
the
is
door?
funny, but it happened. If it's like that's mean fun. Like that's not.
It's very funny. It's very
Oh
funny if she hadn't said she would guard the door for you. I mean, it's like that's such a
yes,
betrayal.
exactly, exactly.
What was her
That's
excuse?
why the
Her,
whole bit is about how me and my wife we don't have trust in our relationship, and then I
yeah.
tell that story.
How could you?
Oh,
What? That's a total situation. Like if you lied about this, you would lie about anything. Uh, did she? Was it like actively a prank? Was she like? Was she like? Did
no, 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 no. She was like, "Oh my god, I am." So,
she
she
just
was like,
forgot?
Tina started talking to me, and I totally forgot. I totally forgot. Like, I don't fucking give a shit if you forgot. That is not. Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
dude,
Do better. Be better.
divorce.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I like that. The modern day outhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Let's just
Make
start a
people
movement.
walk. They're like, "Hey, man, do you have a restroom?" Yeah. Get your shoes on. Backyard, pal.
Yeah, you'll
No,
thank
it's
me
it's not like
afterwards.
that. I don't have to take it. Hey. Whatever you're gonna do, it's none of my business.
This is a safe place.
Just take it outside. Just
And
take
that's
that
another thing
business
is like,
outside.
yeah, it's good for them too because it's like, oh man, why were you gone so long? Well, I had to go all the way in the backyard and I had to take off
Yeah.
my shoes. So it's
Yeah,
like
you have a
you
whole
can poop
excuse.
or pee and you have a whole
Right.
story.
No one knows. No one knows what,
Yeah.
I
Like,
used to have
oh,
a
did you
bit.
take a dump? No, I got lost. I got lost.
I used to have a bit about that where like people would say this is a common thing where people are like, "Oh, I have to take a shit. I got to go home." Like, do you know people like that? They'll only shit at their
Sure.
house. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
was like,
It's ridiculous.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, I want to shit as geographically far away from my home as possible. Why would I want to bring that horror anywhere near my bedroom or my living room? That's my home. I don't want that in there. I want to go
That
to like
horror.
Cleveland to take a shit. Like, get it out there,
Yeah.
far away as possible. So yeah, the outhouse.
Yeah, there's
There's
something
something
nice
to it
about a good dump though.
in your own home. I don't. You know what though? We have like a cheap, and it wasn't us. This was came with the house. Like a cheap toilet, or like the toilet itself is like a hard porcelain, great, but the toilet seat is like a rinky-dink loose plastic, like and
Yeah, you
it's
can get a
always
new one.
loose,
Get a new
so I
one.
gotta tighten it all the time, and then it's like it's not comfortable. I don't know. I need a better toilet seat. I should invest in
Yeah. Oh God.
that. Potty talk. Ginger would love this.
How do you talk? And are you still sitting to pee?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, not
Yeah.
at like the airport. Like if there's a urinal, I'll use a urinal. But if it's a toilet
Sure.
seat, I'm taking a seat, pal. Park it. Gonna park it.
Ah! Oh God, my dogs are barking. I gotta get
It's
off
just so
these
nice to
guys.
sit down.
Yeah. Woo.
Okay.
All right, what do you need backup on?
Here's what I need. This might be controversial. I don't know.
Oh,
But you know what?
this will be a first on the Cavalry.
I'm I've decided I'm a phone guy. I'm just want to use like so many situations would be easier over the phone. Like anything you're trying to do,
Yeah.
schedule, let's say you're a friend and you want to schedule somewhere to go eat. Just call them up on the phone. The texting
Yep.
back and forth, emailing back and forth, it's a nightmare. Booking a comedy club. Just if you could just
Yep.
imagine if you could just call the guy on the phone, like yes or no this weekend. No, great. You know what I mean? It's over. Yes,
Yes.
fantastic. Let's put it down. Anything. I called a hotel. Heidi's got her 40th birthday coming up. So I'm like calling to we're gonna stay in Sedona, Arizona, and I'm calling the hotel to try and like organize stuff. And then like you get this, you can't call a hotel anymore. You know what I mean? If you call the number on the hotel, it goes to this giant corporation,
the headquarters.
that owns hotels, and they own business parks, and they own, you know what I mean? So they're like, oh, okay, I can help you. Let's see if we can resolve your situation. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Where's are you there?
Yeah.
Do you know what this hotel is? You know, and they don't have any idea what, you know what I mean?
I'm in Louisiana.
Let's just go back. I think like if I were like a powerful, let's say I really made it in comedy, I would be like, I got no agents, I have no email, I have a phone number. Like the Bill Murray story is great. They're like, you call and you leave a voicemail for Bill Murray. That's the only way you can get a hold of him. I understand that so much now, you know? And with text and email, especially like generational differences, it's very easy to misread intent and attitude. Like people can sound like older people can sound curt, and they can sound mean just because they don't know they aren't literate in that way of texting and typing to make an email sound friendly. You know, they don't know how to use an exclamation point every once in a while or flowery language. So it's just like, I'll be there, you know, whatever. And it sounds for Jesus Christ, you know? So, but if you call them on the phone, it'd probably be a delightful conversation, you know?
Yeah.
Just let's go back to phones. Just deal with shit on phones.
I back you up. I agree with everything you said. When you start out by saying I'm a phone guy, you're not a chit chat phone guy, though,
I am a chit chat. That's what I am too. I am like you, and you I do not chit chat with because we save it all.
Well, we gotta save it.
I know.
But
there's been many times where I would call you because I'm just sitting around like at an airport or drive a long drive.
Because you're in the tub.
I'm in the tub.
How many friends do you have that you can just
4
that you do? You just
4.
Okay.
My buddy Jason, Brant, my buddy, I'll call Ryan Creppin, my fake manager.
Yeah.
Very rarely though. He doesn't answer. And then Brian Moot, who's a comic buddy of mine, but he never answers. And so that's 4. I guess that's it.
That's
and
4,
I would call you, but that's and my brothers. I'll call my brothers, but less often than I'll call those guys.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm down to, I think. My friend Nick, I used to call my friend Nick, but he doesn't always answer anymore. Because that's the thing is I get sheepish about it. So like sometimes you call a guy, you call them 3 or 4 times in a row, they don't answer. You're like, well, okay, I got the message, you know. Not going to keep calling. And because people will say, oh, you call on the phone? You talk on the don't call me on the phone. What is it, an emergency?
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
What, are we married?
Let's chit chat. Yeah. Let's yak.
Yeah.
You know?
What you thinking about?
We're never going to see each other in person again. You know what I mean? That's what you realize about life. Like, you know, we do this every week because we're contractually obligated to. But in real life, if we didn't have a podcast together, we would just never see each other, maybe until we die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or there'd just be some freak comedy thing. We're like, oh, cool, we get to hang out. This is so fun. But we're
both in Vegas.
We would never pursue it to make it happen.
Yeah.
Because that's how bad people are, like, maintaining friendships. But then, like, but at least you could call each other on the phone, you know? I'm a phone guy.
Yeah.
Call me up.
All right, that's good to hear.
If you hear this and you have my number, give me a jingle. I'll answer.
You know, why don't you give your number? Just say your number.
206
so anyone can call you.
940-7753. Call me up. That's literally my phone number. I'm throwing it out there. I don't give a shit.
I love it. Nice. There it is. There it is, folks.
Yeah. Like there's this guy, Matt, and he calls all the time, and he's crazy. And he'll talk your ear off. And I don't answer every time. But you know what? I at least appreciate that he still like calls on the phone. He's trying to keep, like, he was around the club when we all started, you know, So he's trying to keep all these friendships alive. He's always like starting a group chat, and I mean that takes work.
Yeah. I mean, I got my friends that will touch base, like call, touch base, figure out when the next time we'll actually see each other is gonna be. But then as far as calling just to like talk long, it's it's basically Jason Russell and my brother.
Yeah.
Or my brothers. Yeah. But like, and I feel bad because like, I mean, I've known Jason forever, like before I even got married. And now it's like, so we would talk a lot more. Now it's like I got 3 kids, married.
Right.
So every time, I feel self-conscious, like, is he feel slighted that every time I call him, I'm just on a late night drive trying to stay awake?
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's what that's for. I don't know. Because he probably they cannot answer too, like I always think that.
Yeah.
Like it's like, well, if they don't want to, it's very easy to just ignore a call,
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a confrontation.
That's so funny you say that, because Jason's the one person that he would answer and he'd be like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, I'm at my dad's funeral. Hang on, let me sneak outside."
See, I love that though.
He'll like answer while he's checking out at the grocery store. It's like, dude,
that's so funny.
Call me back.
Hey man, this is a bad time. Well, you answered. Just don't answer. It's a cell phone. Just don't answer
it. Yeah.
And my wife. I call my wife, to just chat. But like you said, sometimes that's not when you're the one home with the kid. It's like, kids, it's not as appealing. But God, do I get bored sometimes on the road.
I know.
And Heidi was like, I came home and Heidi was like, just, chatting away with me. And then, she's like, oh, I'm chatting your head. He's like, I'm talking your head off, but you don't understand. I haven't had anybody like, I've only been talking to Ginger for like 2 weeks. I haven't really had anybody else to talk to because she doesn't go to work. She works remotely.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? I've had nobody to talk to for 2 weeks. There's no other comedians on that ship.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Well,
you're good app. I'm backing
you're a phone
you
guy.
up.
I'm a phone guy.
I like it. Yeah. I'm sure. I'm not going to give my phone number out.
We can't waste any precious conversation on the phone. That's the only problem.
I know.
All right. When's this coming?
I was happy to hear that you liked the video of the new bit, the ding dong.
Oh, I loved it. Oh, and I got to get that up. I had problems with the Patreon. So for those of you listening, I'm sorry. The Patreon will be up soon, both of post-show banner and that clip. But I could not get, for some reason on the ship Wi-Fi, it wasn't letting me upload it. But I'm going to do that tonight. So obviously it will be up by the time you hear this. And so we owe you a post-show banner and that clip, which is very funny. So
stick around for post-show banner.
Stick around for this post-show banner. And St. Louis, I will be at the St. Charles. What is that one called? The Funny Bone.
Yeah, you're doing St. Charles.
St. Charles, June. When the hell am I going? When is it? Oh, that's May. June 6th through the 9th. So
6th through the 9th. Okay. Not a fan of the old Sunday show, personally. I know.
No. And then when I did the one in Westport, I remember the Sunday being a very big letdown.
Yeah. You can have a great Friday, great Saturday, and then you got to leave on that ding dong note of a shit show Sunday.
Yeah.
The 7th of June, I'll be in Racine at the Memorial Hall in the Racine Civic Center.
Shout out to the Fallen.
And I will be at the Dublin in Duluth on the 8th.
All right.
Minnesota.
Go to those shows, everybody. Thank you for listening to
The Cavalry.